Well, today here on techgooch, we're going to give you my final thoughts and information on the Reolink Go PT completely wireless 4G LTE solar-powered security camera. Take a peek. Alright, that's a good mouthful. The Reolink Go PT solar-powered LTE completely wireless security camera. That's what this is. And I did a setup video on GeekSmart. I'm going to put that link down in the description. So if you want to see everything that comes in the box, exactly how it comes out, and exactly how to set it up, head over or down to that link to my GeekSmart channel, and I did a full install on this guy. So that's the first thing. So we're not going through the install of this. We're going through the actual paces of what I think of it, but also I'm going to go through how the app works, how it does. Kind of an experience, at least for me, that I've had for had it running for almost a month now. Actually, just about a month. And I'm also going to go with how much data I've used on my LTE plan that I purchased just for that. I did a pre-paid plan rather than put it on my post-paid because I run on Verizon for my cell phones, and this doesn't run on Verizon. It's going to run on, and if you actually go to their website, they'll give you the bands, but it should run on T-Mobile. It also should run on at&t. So essentially the old GSM plans, right? But yes, it won't work on Sprint, which now that's T-Mobile anyway, I guess, so yes, it will. But it will not work on Verizon here in the States. So if you're interested to see if it works with your carrier, if you head over to Reolink's description page, and I'll link that down below as well. They go through all the bands and stuff that are required where that actually runs off. So definitely check that out before purchasing. $269 in the US, that's what you expect to pay for this. I don't know what it costs other places or where else it's available, but you might want to check on that as well. But it's kind of neat. It has its own little solar panel that it comes with. It runs on LTE, and it's battery operated on an internal battery. So essentially the solar panel charges the internal battery and then she runs. Now, of course, things to think about, right? You want to make sure that the solar panel is put in a good location, and they give you a good amount of cord to put it away from the camera, so you can put the camera kind of wherever. I have the solar panel pretty close to where my camera is. Second thing, the battery. If you were on maybe a really cloudy day, or obviously during the winter time here in the northern climate, I'm in Iowa, so it's not too far north technically, but we don't get as much sun. And how well is this going to do in the colder climates? Well, first, it is battery operated, so you're going to have limited access to it in wintertime, especially if you're talking about really cold temperature days, because it is running on a lithium-ion battery, and if that lithium-ion battery falls below a certain temperature, you don't want to be charging it, whether it's charged with a solar panel or not. Now, this can also be charged if you bring the camera in, and it's quick to detach, to be honest about it. You can charge it with a USB cable as well, so it does have multiple abilities there. But I found the battery life to be fantastic. So, if I go over a single night and even a next day, I think it could actually last multiple days before she really needs to be charged. But that little solar trickle charger that it kind of comes with kind of blasts it back up every single day. So, that I just wanted to kind of pull out of the gate. But we're going to head down to where I actually have it mounted. I'm going to show you that first, what it actually looks like, how I have it mounted, how the solar panel is mounted. And it's, the back part of my property. So I don't really get Wi-Fi down there very well at all. And even if I put like an extender right at the edge of my house, it's really hard to pick up anything up back there. So if I didn't do it this way, I wouldn't have been able to do it with a Wi-Fi version of it. It just wouldn't be reliable. So that I'll show you where I did it, and then I'll show you the footage. So both daytime and nighttime footage, and then we're going to go over the app to show you what it looks like in the app, and then describe how much data it's used. And really, it only uses LTE data if you are accessing it. It's not going to use LTE data at any time to upload to the cloud. It keeps all of its storage in the device, and then the LTE's data is for you to check on it or you to pull footage off of it remotely. Now, you can always go down to the camera and pop the SD card out, right? That's an option, but you don't need to. You can actually pull it remotely. And then you can obviously depending on your battery life, it's going to depend on how much motion activation you have set this set to. So let's head down. I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll go from there. So from below, you can see I have my camera and solar panel. Camera down here, solar panel up above. I'll show you what it looks like from up there, so it's a little bit easier to see. So here's the camera itself, which is currently being powered. You can see there's the LTE antenna. I can actually move this antenna. It's just kind of plugged into the back here. Same with the solar panel. It's just plugged in. You can see the cord there. And then I have it routed up to the actual solar panel itself, which I have in a spot that gets sun majority of the day. It looks like there's some animals up here. Look at that. Look at the nice piles of junk. But gets a good amount of sun, and then it obviously powers this just fine. One thing during install, I found that the screws that they give you just weren't meant to go into wood very well, so I used my own screws. You kind of see back there and then up there as well. Small things to point out, but it does come with anchors that you can put into concrete. I would argue just provide your own anchors. They're kind of cheap anchors, to be honest about it. But other than that, the daytime and nighttime viewing both work pretty darn good on it, to be honest, and it actually gets a decent amount of distance to it. So far with the product itself, I'm quite happy. So let's take a peek at the footage, and then let's take a peek at the app and how to use it. So I did want to point out that this is the Reolink Go PT. They also do make it Reolink Go, which is similar, but it doesn't have the pan tilt capability. It's just more of like a standard like shotgun camera, bullet camera. Right now they're out of stock directly through Reolink, but you can get other places. Accessories, you can actually get different solar panels. You can get solar panel extensions. You can get different brackets. There are some things that you can get in addition to what actually comes with the camera. So just some things I wanted to point out. But I'll link the actual Reolink page in the description below as well. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to show the app first, because you'll see how the app works, and then we'll actually show some of the actual clips that we see in the app. I'll show the actual full 1080p, or the highest quality footage I can get out of the camera. So this is the Reolink app. That's what this is going to use, just like all the Reolink cameras. So right now it's going to pull up. Actually, it pulled up exactly where I was. I have two cameras. My front, which is a PoE camera, that's wired into my system. And in the backyard, that's going to be the actual LTE. So you can actually see the L4G signals. Looks really good. It'll actually show the battery. So if we actually hit the gears, I think, we can see battery 100%. Of course, it's sunny outside still. It's still during the day, and that's going to drop during the night, and then it'll kick back up during the day. Display. You can actually rotate the screen. You can choose day and night. You can change that so it doesn't do the black and white, or if it's always black and white. Camera name, if you want to actually have it inked on, which I do currently right now, so I can actually see where the footage came from or whatever. Watermark, privacy mask. If you want to put a privacy mask on, you can. That's all through here. Camera settings, things like that. Email alerts, if you'd like to have email alerts, or even has a siren. It does record audio, so in the advanced, I can choose to turn that off if you don't want it to record audio. That's up to you. Infrared lights, auto, so during the night, if you want it to have infrared or not, that's up to you. They give you that choice, and then you can change device password. When we did the setup, if you watch the setup video, we actually had to put a password to this device, so it limits access, obviously. So let's go into the actual camera itself. So we'll hit the play, it should be live view. That's the live view of my backyard right now, where we just were, where we saw it. That's what it looks like. Now, at any time, we can actually go down here. We can change the PTZ location. So if we actually hit PTZ, now this is just a pan tilt camera. This doesn't have zoom. I can use the joystick and kind of move it around. It does have a delay because it is over LTE. It's not directly right away, but you can actually see the green arrows kind of come up as I move it. Give it a second to catch back up. And I have noticed that a couple times it didn't quite get that, that movement or whatever. But it all depends, I guess, on my connection to the camera itself. Oh, looks like I lost connection to it, so we'll connect back up. And this happens sometimes. It's not readily. It seems like it's more if I'm on Wi-Fi or something, but if I'm on LTE myself, I usually don't have as many issues. It's kind of weird. But you can see how it moves there. It does have that little bit of lagginess to it, right? And you can change this, and you can change how you want it to do. It's not going to automatically pan tilt. It's going to be based on where you put it. So that's where we, I'll just leave it there for now. The other option, we can talk. We can actually do two-way communication back and forth between it. At any time, if I hit the speaker here, I can actually hear the audio back there. So right now, probably not a whole lot going on back there, but you can hear the audio back there. I can stop that at any time. I can take a photo or a video directly off my phone, directly off the feed that my phone is getting. Right now I'm getting a high connection. That's actually a high quality connection. If you don't want to use as much data, you can just go to Fluent, which is their lower quality connection. It's going to be a little lower bit rate. It's not going to be as clear, but it'll at least give you the gist. Also, it tends to be more responsive. At least I've noticed in the past. It's more responsive in that lower quality because it's obviously a lower connection feed. We can pause. And then we can expand to see the entire width of the device, right? So let's go back to here. Playback. Playback is where we can actually look at past events. Now I have it set to motion. You can change the, how much it actually picks up from that. But these events, you can choose the day. I can go back quite a ways because I have it set on motion. It's only recording at certain times, and I have it kind of set to a spot where I don't get a whole lot of foot traffic, but I definitely want to know what's going on back there. It's mainly going to be animals that are going to be going up to my stuff. So, I can choose a date. Let's say the 14th, for instance. There's only 3 events on the 14th. That's before I actually upped the sensitivity of my motion. But I can click on that and I can see the actual footage coming up. Don't see a whole lot going on there. This is in the early morning hours, it looks like. All 3 events are. And so you can just click on the streams on that day, and it probably was just bugs or whatever going across the screen. If I go to let's say the 21st, I think there was something later at night. Let's try 8:13. And of course, you just got to wait for the stream to load. And sometimes it kicks off, and then you have to reconnect. And that happens from time to time, and it's just the nature of the beast. Typically, if I'm out and about, I don't have as many issues as I do when I'm on Wi-Fi. For some weird reason, it's always when I'm on Wi-Fi that I have more issues than if I'm on LTE. I don't know if it's just the connection between the T-Mobile and my Wi-Fi or what. Couldn't tell you. All right, so it's loading the stream now. And you can see the connection up top there, it looks like. Oh, now I'm down to 0. Oh, I'm on high again for some weird reason. Let's go down to Fluent so it's not eating as much data. Oh, yep, there was a deer right there. So let's go to the next event. You can see the deer off to the side there. I don't know how well you're seeing that, but that there's another deer that just ran through the footage. So we'll look at that footage. This is kind of at dusk, so it's kind of in between that dark and light. So right, it's going to be that third layer one. So, and then we get a little bit darker, and now we have a bug that's obviously crawling over the lens. And you get a lot of those. It's just the nature of the beast. But we're going to pull up some footage from both daytime and nighttime that has animals or something moving in it, at least, so we can get a quality footage view. And maybe we'll look at one low quality to high quality to direct off camera quality off the SD card. So let's take a peek at some footage. I did want to show real quick how you actually download one of these. So right now I have an event that I'm playing right now that I want to download. Right now I'm on low quality, but it doesn't matter. If I hit this download arrow in the top right, I can wait to play this back and actually trim it here, or I can just hit download. It'll just download the whole clip, and it'll download to the device. Now, when you do this the first time, it'll ask to give access to your photos and stuff, and you say yes. It's downloading it, and it'll put it right in your photo stream in your on your phone. So when you're done, now you can also go back and change. No, oops, I forgot. I wanted the higher quality. That's definitely the footage I want. Then you can actually hit download and download the higher quality footage. So you can do that. Okay, so I'm going to make these full screen as we go, but I thought I'd show you what it actually looks like on the computer. Now, what I found real quick is that if you download it on low quality or high quality on your cell phone, it's going to be the exact same file that you're seeing here. This is read directly off of the micro SD card that's in the camera. And so you can see they actually have a nice little categorized footage of every single date that these were taken. And then what you don't see is the REC MO1 is going to be the higher quality, and then the SO1 is going to be the lower quality. And so they're in the same order. So if you know you're the third MO1, where you're just going to go to the third SO1, and they're going to be the same file, just in different qualities. So that's what the hierarchy of the footage looks like on the SD card. Now we're going to look at footage from daytime. Then we're going to go to kind of the dusk, and this is kind of getting towards us. This is 7:50 p.m., but it's still going to be bright enough, I think, to do. And we can actually look at other ones as well. But this has a lot of going on with a lot of traffic, a lot of things moving on it. So we'll do the lower quality one first. So I'm going to blow this up here. And so you can see the deer running across. Definitely fairly pixelated. This is like a low quality version. And you can see the one deer coming there. And yeah, I mean, you get the gist of what's going on, but it's not the cleanest in the world, right? That it is what it is, but it's definitely not that clean. If we do, the same footage, but in the higher quality, you're going to see a lot more detail. It's going to look cleaner. Is it 4K? No, it's not. And this is obviously also happening in the background. The camera's actually focusing on the fence. So that's not going to be in the best focus either. And you can see that in there. But you still see enough details to know at least what's going on. So that's nice to see. Now let's get to something that's a little bit closer. This is one we actually pulled up earlier. And so we're going to do a lower quality one on this one first as well. And so with the lower quality footage, we can see the deer to the left. The second deer is going to come from the right-hand side. There he is. But very, it is low quality. It's obviously at dusk. It's definitely darker out. Obviously, the camera went to a black and white mode. But we see what we need to see right there in the foreground. If you're on a smaller device, it's going to work just fine. Now, if we go to the higher quality device, higher quality footage, now we can see a lot more detail in what's going on. This is a 1080p signal. The deer is definitely, the second deer coming across is a lot cleaner to see. We can see more detail in the footage in general, but of course it's a higher resolution. It's just going to work better, right? We're going to see more details. And so that's that guy. The third one we're going to look at here is going to be one that's going to be shot more at night. So let's start with the lower quality footage. You can see the deer there again. At least he's right there towards the center of the footage, kind of coming over to get some food, basically. Kind of going across there. But footage nonetheless, right? We can see what's going on, even in the lower quality setting. Now, if we go to the higher quality footage, we can see the deer a lot more cleaner. We can actually see the antlers more. We can see more of the detail, right? And of course, this is just kind of showing the difference between the lower quality and high quality footage that this camera is putting out. And it's going to be the same no matter what camera you put out. But at least you get the gist of that specifically. The last video I wanted to show you is footage of my daughter actually just kind of walking back up. That way you can at least get a sense of the quality of the footage of a person, right? This is shot at 4:57, so this is definitely in the early evening hours. But you can kind of see what a person would actually look like in the foot shot. Now that was quick and easy. You can see my wife there in the background in the garden. But that's, something more during the daytime just to see what that looks like. So that's what the footage looks like. Hopefully you got an idea of at least what you can expect out of the camera, but also out of the footage that you get out of it. At 1080p, is it the best 1080p? No, but it's not bad. And now it comes with a 16 gig card, and you can see, at least with mine, I can go back a week and a half, 2 weeks almost, and actually look at the footage. And it's not, all day clips. They're just small clips here and there. And so the nice thing is you can obviously increase that storage capacity from the 16 gig card and jump it up to 64 and expand how much storage capacity that you can get on this camera. It works really good. I have had no issues with it. It's standalone. And that's the really, really nice thing about it. Now, one other item that is going to be asked, I think, exclusively on this product, because it is 4G, is how much data does it use? Well, now, like I said, I put this on a prepaid plan, so it's a standalone plan by itself, which is not the cheapest way to do it. If you already have a T-Mobile account or an at&t account, that's going to be a cheaper way to do it, because you can just add this kind of as a tablet plan or something that uses, it doesn't 2 gigs. I mean, would be way more than enough. So far, in my 4 weeks of use on it, now I periodically check on it. I do not check on it daily. I don't check on it multiple times a day for that matter. I've downloaded videos here and there from it, and today I've downloaded several. I'm sitting at just under 200 megabytes. That's not a lot of data. Now, that may not take into account the stuff that I've done for today for these videos, and I would account it doesn't. But let's say it's 250 megs that I've used. And maybe on a heavier month, I might use 500 megs. If you're checking it all the time, it's going to use more. But that's the whole thing about it, is you can tailor this to yourself. If you're on a post-play plan, or a standard plan, you can get accounts that have unlimited. So depending on how you use it, it works. It works really well. Now, Reolink sent me this to make some videos and see what my thoughts were on it. And of course, at first I was kind of, oh man, it doesn't work with Verizon. Oh man, it's going to add more buckets, add more problems for me. It was extremely easy to set up because I just went out to my local Best Buy, bought a SIM card for T-Mobile with a 1-month prepaid plan on it, and just ran with it. Now, that 1-month prepaid plan I think is for a phone, but I wanted to see how it would work, and I got the nano SIM card that I needed out of it. It does not come with a nano SIM. You have to get it for your provider. Now, I would highly recommend, if you are interested in this, definitely go to the links below, and I'm going to have a link to my setup video where I'll go into the complete setup and how I set it up. So that's a great video if you're looking at doing this. That way at least you get an idea of what it takes to do it. It's not as hard as I originally anticipated it being, because it's not just connect to your Wi-Fi, right? This is connect to LTE. I can see this being a fantastic product for people that, and I hate to say things like this, but maybe you're building a house and you want to keep track of what's going on at the house. Fantastic way to do it. You can, obviously tell your builder that you're doing it, but you can always keep tabs on what's going on at the job site. Fantastic. Maybe you have a barn and you want to see what's going on out there periodically with the cattle or whatever. Fantastic. I don't have to worry about getting Wi-Fi out there. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. This is a simple way to do it. And if I already have a plan that I can add this to, it's an inexpensive way to do it, really. The price can outweigh. Now, and the nice thing about this is, at least in post-play, or if you're just adding a bring your own device to your plan, you can turn it on or turn it off at any time. There's no contract. There's no nothing. So, yeah, thank you, Reolink. You actually opened my eyes to what a LTE based camera can be. So that's a wonderful thing, in my opinion. But let me know what you think. There's comments below. You can head over to techgooch.com and send me a link direct if you have more information. I can send you these files if you're interested. If you're really looking at one of these, let me know. But yeah, comment below, like, subscribe, share this video if you can. Thanks for sticking by to the end. And yeah, Reolink. This is my second camera, and I like their stuff. I like their app. I like it. It works really good. So, I sound like a fanboy almost. I'm not, but it does what it's supposed to do. So, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you back here for a future video review right here on TechGooch. We'll see you soon.